Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail. It's absolute madness on the Scottish football scene right now, as whispers have been swirling through the streets of Glasgow on every corner of social media and even deep inside the stadium corridors. Celtic have reportedly secured James Tavernier from their bitter rivals Rangers. The very notion sends shivers down the spine of anyone who's lived through the old firm rivalry, because it's the kind of transfer that doesn't just shift players, it shifts identities, loyalties, and the very soul of a club. Picture it, Tavernier, a figure synonymous with Rangers' grit, their relentless push forward, suddenly donning the green and white hoops, walking the Celtic Park turf in front of a crowd that has long regarded him as the embodiment of everything they oppose. The deal itself is shrouded in secrecy. Sources close to both clubs hint at negotiations so heated and secretive that even some of the senior coaching staff at Rangers weren't fully aware until the final signatures landed. Fans have been left in a mixture of disbelief and sheer excitement, with online forums exploding into fiery debates, memes and conspiracy theories about how and why such a seismic move could happen in the heart of Scottish football. Some insiders suggest this is not just a signing, but a statement, a tactical and psychological blow aimed straight at the Rangers' heart, meant to disrupt morale, fan culture, and the narrative of supremacy in Glasgow. The Celtic board, meanwhile, are said to be playing this with a mix of delight and cunning, knowing full well that the optics of signing a player of Tavernier's stature could ignite a frenzy that will dominate headlines for weeks, maybe months, reshaping perceptions of ambition and dominance in the Scottish Premiership in ways no one could have predicted or even dared to imagine. Rumours swirl about the financial details as well, with figures that remain unconfirmed but are believed to be significant enough to raise eyebrows, suggesting Celtic have gone all out to land a player who has not only led Rangers from the back, but has become an icon of their ethos, a man whose very presence has inspired teammates and terrified opponents in equal measure across countless domestic battles and European nights. The reaction from fans naturally has been a combustible mix of outrage, disbelief, and sheer hysteria, with Celtic supporters almost vibrating with excitement at the idea of Tavernier suddenly wearing their colours, while Rangers fans are reportedly grappling with a sense of betrayal that is almost Shakespearean in its intensity. Social media platforms have erupted with posts, hashtags, and videos dissecting every possible implication of the move, with pundits speculating endlessly on the tactical revolutions that could follow. Will Tavernier's leadership style and commanding presence translate to Celtic's dressing room, a squad long accustomed to a different culture of authority and rivalry? Some analysts suggest that this isn't merely a football signing, it's a psychological operation, a masterstroke aimed at undermining Rangers from within while bolstering Celtic's ambitions to not just compete but dominate in the Premiership. The timing is said to be crucial, with sources hinting that behind-the-scenes manoeuvres have been ongoing for months and that Celtic's management quietly monitored Tavernier's contract performance and influence to ensure this move would land with maximum impact. The dynamics within Rangers, meanwhile, are reportedly tense, with players allegedly questioning loyalty, morale, taking subtle hits, and even coaching strategies being reconsidered in light of this unprecedented transfer. Insiders claim boardroom discussions have been heated, with some Rangers directors warning that the signing could be catastrophic, not just in terms of points on the table, but in shaping fan perception, brand identity, and the club's narrative in Scottish football history. It's the sort of story that fuels legends and folklore, a move that, if confirmed, will be dissected, debated, and dramatized for years, shaping how supporters, journalists, and historians alike recall this chapter of Glasgow football rivalry. Every detail, every nuance, from the handshake in secret meetings to the whispered negotiations in dimly lit offices, adds layers of intrigue, giving the story an almost cinematic intensity that has captured the imagination of fans far beyond the borders of Scotland. The influence of Tavernier on the pitch cannot be understated, which only intensifies the drama surrounding this rumoured Celtic acquisition. Known for his relentless energy, pinpoint crosses, and leadership qualities that have turned games around in moments of crisis, Tavernier represents more than just a player. He embodies a philosophy of football that has come to define Rangers over the last decade. Celtic are apparently betting that this influence can be redirected, that his presence can inspire a new culture of ambition and attacking dominance, and that the psychological blow to Rangers will be felt immediately in upcoming fixtures. Sources close to the player hint that Tavernier himself is aware of the controversy, perhaps even revels in it, recognizing the unique place he occupies in this historic rivalry. There's talk of behind-the-scenes discussions about his adaptation to Celtic style, how his leadership could integrate into a squad used to different hierarchies, and the possible friction or harmony that could arise when a figure of his stature enters new dressing room politics. Fans speculate endlessly on how his trademark penalties, free kicks, and commanding runs down the right flank will now be celebrated by the supporters he once faced. The media has painted him as both a traitor and a visionary, a duality that only fuels the intrigue and ensures that the story will dominate headlines for weeks, with pundits, ex-players, and journalists offering endless speculation on whether this move signals a seismic shift in the balance of power in Scottish football. Rumours even suggest secret clauses designed to protect both Celtic's and Tavernier's interests, a masterstroke in negotiation that could indicate a long-term plan to reshape not just the team, but the narrative of rivalry itself. The old firm's historical intensity, the personal vendettas, and decades of cultural identity tied to these clubs make this potential transfer a story far richer than any simple player move, elevating it to something approaching legend. Tavernier's rumoured move is not just about tactics or statistics. It's about symbolism, about power, identity, and the cultural heartbeat of Glasgow. For decades, fans of Celtic and Rangers have defined themselves not only by football results, but by the cultural, historical, and social narratives tied to the clubs. To imagine Tavernier switching sides is to imagine a tectonic shift in that landscape, a move that challenges assumptions, stirs emotions, and forces everyone involved to reconsider allegiances and perspectives. Conversations in pubs, online forums, and fan groups are described as frenzied by insiders, with debates raging about loyalty, strategy, and what this transfer could mean for the broader Scottish Premiership. Some speculate that Celtic's move is as much about signalling ambition to the rest of Europe as it is about local dominance, suggesting that acquiring a player of Tavernier's calibre sends a message that Celtic intend to compete not just domestically, but on continental stages. Meanwhile, Rangers supporters are reportedly experiencing a sense of shock akin to a betrayal, questioning how a player so integral to their identity could even consider switching allegiances and what this means for future loyalty among their own squad. The rumour mill insists that both clubs are aware of the psychological warfare inherent in this transaction, with Celtic possibly aiming to unsettle Rangers' preparations, destabilise internal cohesion, and shift momentum before the next high-stakes encounters. Analysts are predicting a dramatic re-evaluation of tactical plans, with Tavernier's vision, leadership, and set-piece mastery potentially reshaping Celtic's approach to every fixture. This is not merely football, it's chess at a strategic and emotional level, with each club maneuvering for influence, dominance, and narrative control in what insiders describe as the most audacious move in decades. Whispers from sources close to both clubs suggest that Celtic's management sees Tavernier not only as a player but as a symbol, a rallying point for fans and a disruptive force against their arch rivals. This is about prestige, identity, and creating a spectacle that will dominate headlines, social media and pub debates across the country. It's also a calculated risk. While Tavernier brings experience and leadership, the transition is fraught with challenges, including squad integration, fan acceptance, and media scrutiny. Some insiders even hint that the transfer discussions included contingency plans in case of backlash, showing how deeply strategic Celtic's approach has been. Rangers, conversely, are reportedly reviewing internal strategies to prevent similar losses in the future, sparking discussions on contracts, player loyalty, and the wider culture that defines their squad. Pundits are having a field day, debating whether this is genius, madness, or a mix of both, while fans oscillate between elation, disbelief, and bitter resentment. There's talk of secret meetings, late-night negotiations, and legal maneuvers designed to safeguard both clubs' interests, highlighting the drama, secrecy, and intensity of the behind-the-scenes operations. The buzz in Glasgow is palpable, whether in pubs, training grounds, or on Twitter. The story of Tavernier's move is dominating conversations, with speculations growing wilder by the hour. Everyone seems to agree on one thing. If this transfer happens, it will go down as one of the most shocking and talked about moments in the history of Scottish football, reshaping not only the teams involved, but the very nature of the old, firm rivalry for years to come. Fans of Celtic reportedly can't contain themselves at the thought of seeing Tavernier in green and white, with social media awash in mock banners, chants, and celebratory graphics, while Rangers supporters are described as shell-shocked by insiders, trying to process the notion that a man so closely associated with their identity could now represent their bitter rivals. Discussions are heating up over whether Tavernier's leadership and style can blend seamlessly with Celtic's existing squad, with analysts predicting both thrilling on-field contributions and inevitable clashes in dressing room dynamics. Some speculate that the transfer could alter not just game day outcomes, but broader recruitment strategies, with Celtic signalling that they can attract top talent even from their fiercest rivals. Observers also note that such a move, if executed, might redefine the psychological warfare element of the old firm, introducing a narrative where players are not only assets on the pitch, but instruments in a broader battle for dominance, fan influence, and brand prestige. The rumor's intensity has prompted comparisons to historic transfers in Europe that shook leagues to their core, with Tavernier's potential Celtic stint already generating headlines, speculation, and debate reminiscent of those seismic moments. This is a story with layers of intrigue, contractual negotiations, personal ambition, fan reaction, historical context, and strategic gambits all intertwining to create a narrative rich in drama, tension, and sensational appeal. The energy in Glasgow is said to be electrifying, with pubs buzzing, social media exploding, and speculation running wild about how soon Tavernier will appear in Celtic's kit, what formation he might play, and whether his arrival will be the spark for a dominant season or an unsteady experiment fraught with tension, betrayal, and media frenzy, making every next update on this rumor essential viewing for anyone remotely invested in Scottish football. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Speculation continues to spiral out of control as insiders suggest that James Tavernier's rumored arrival at Celtic could have consequences far beyond the pitch. Conversations in boardrooms, locker rooms, and fans' living rooms have taken on a fevered tone, with everyone weighing in on the potential psychological impact of the move. Imagine the tension. A player once emblematic of Rangers' fighting spirit, now influencing Celtic's tactics, leadership, and momentum. Sources claim that Celtic's coaching staff have been meticulously planning how to integrate Tavernier into their system, analyzing every pass, every set piece, and every leadership cue he brings from a career steeped in old firm battles. Meanwhile, Rangers are reportedly scrambling to adjust, confronting questions about squad cohesion, morale, and identity after what insiders are calling a shock transfer that could redefine club culture. Social media platforms are ablaze with fan reactions ranging from euphoric celebration to bitter outrage, with memes, hashtags, and heated debates dominating timelines across Glasgow and beyond. Pundits are dissecting every angle, speculating on the possible fallout in upcoming fixtures, the psychological games that may now unfold between the clubs, and whether Celtic's gambit could destabilise Rangers enough to shift the balance of power in the Scottish Premiership. Rumours even hint at secret clauses in Tavernier's contract designed to maximise his impact while safeguarding Celtic's ambitions, indicating a move orchestrated with surgical precision, as if every detail was calculated to make the transfer more than a signing, but a full-blown statement of intent. Insiders reveal that the cultural implications of this rumoured transfer are almost unprecedented. Rangers supporters, long accustomed to Tavernier as a figurehead, are reportedly experiencing what some describe as a collective identity crisis, questioning loyalty, trust, and future leadership within their squad. Meanwhile, Celtic fans are envisioned celebrating what could be the coup of the decade, imagining a leader who commands respect, inspires teammates, and delivers the kind of tactical brilliance that transforms matches. Sources close to both clubs insist that this isn't just about footballing talent, it's about control, prestige, and narrative dominance. Analysts speculate that Tavernier's style, renowned for aggressive runs, precise crosses, and leadership at critical moments, could redefine Celtic's tactical approach, giving the team new dimensions in attack and defence. Discussions are also circulating regarding the timing of this move, with insiders hinting that the transfer was planned strategically to disrupt Rangers' preparation ahead of key fixtures, maximising psychological leverage. The sheer secrecy surrounding the negotiations, combined with the historic rivalry has turned this story into a phenomenon that extends beyond sport, capturing the imagination of fans, pundits, and even casual observers. The energy in Glasgow is said to be electric, with pubs, online forums, and stadium corridors all abuzz, making every update on Tavernier's potential Celtic debut feel like a breaking headline in a city that thrives on football drama. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.